Hey, what up guys, it's Caleb here, and in today's video I kind of want to share my story and tell you guys what do I think is the most important skill that I think everybody should have in their lives. So before I talk about the skill, I don't know if you guys have watched the TV shows called Heroes. So it is a show about people with ability. So everybody kind of have a special talent and special skill. So there's one guy called Siler in the show. His ability, he doesn't have like any very powerful ability at the first. So his ability is to be able to understand things. So he couldn't shoot fires and all that, but like his ability is to be able to understand things. So what he did is eventually end up killing a bunch of other people with abilities and open their brains and study their brain and to understand how things work, like how their other people's ability works, and to be able to do that to obtain the other person's skill, talent, ability. So eventually he became the most powerful characters in the entire show because he has a bunch of other ability that he can shoot fire, control things, and do this and that, right? So that is a skill that I will talk about in this video, to be able to understand things, like to be able to obtain skill and understand things easily. And not easy, I would say easily and quickly, but like I would call this a great learner. So how can you be a great learner? And I think once when you obtain the skill, there's nothing, like there's basically anything that you do in the world, I think you're going to be successful in doing so, because once when you can understand things, how things works, and you can get yourselves to be at least like better than 70% of the people doing the same thing that you do, whatever thing it is. So I want to talk about like how can you actually obtain the skill. I think there are two very important attributes to be able to acquire this ability, this skill to understand things. So the first one is, I think, is to being proactive. So you don't sit around and wait for people to tell you what to do. You find the truth, you find the knowledge by yourself. Like if you think that's something you're lacking, and then you go ahead and seek help, you look for help. Either it's asking people, either it's going to library or going on Google, YouTube, search for things, search for the knowledge. So this is what I call it being proactive. And the second attribute that's very important is to focus on the details. So by focusing on the detail, I want to imagine kind of like peeling an onion, right? So if you cut an onion, there's a lot of different layer of things, right? So I want you to kind of peel an onion, peel to the core part of the matters of the issue that you're dealing with, right? I want to keep peeling until you find the truth within that thing. So for example, for design, right? So design is a big onion. So design is a big term, right? The first layer could be design, and then what is design, right? Design could be, you have like, you have graphic design, you have like engineering design, you have like a lot of different kind of design, right? So graphic design, how do you peel graphic design, right? Graphic design, you have UI and UX design, you have like logo design, illustration design, and those are the outer part, right? So you peel a deeper level, UI and UX design, right? How can you peel deeper level? UI and especially UI design is consists of a lot of like UI elements, right? And UI elements is another layer. You peel under UI elements, right? There's a padding, you peel padding. There's a there is a grid system, right? Or padding or grid system, right? You peel grid system, there's like 12 grid system, whatever. You peel the core part, and that is what consists of the whole matter, right? That is all consists of the whole UI design, right? Is to with all the things I just mentioned, right? So you peel onion, like peel layer to layer to find the truth. So these are the very two most important things that I would like to talk about in the concept of obtaining the skill to be able to understand things and learn things. So that is what I would like to talk about in this video, and I would like to share kind of like my life knowledge. How can I apply this mentality, this methodology in my life to be able to get me to where I am right now. So there are four stories that I would like to share with you guys. And the first thing is swimming. So swimming was a big part of my life. I started swimming when I was like, I think like 10, until I graduated high school, and then I started teaching swimming. So swimming, if you look at me, if you know me, like I'm not like a very tall person, not very buff, like not very powerful. If you look at me, so I used to be in a training team, right, swimming team, like go to training for like 2 or 3 times a week. And then if you ever been to a training swimming team, right, what they do is they will dump you in the water, and then at least like for my coach, right, they will not like really focus on your stroke and things. They will just tell you like swim, maybe like 200 2000 freestyle and then 2000 breaststroke or whatever. So how can you get yourself to be a better swimmer, right? How can you get yourself to swim faster? So you pure swimming, right? Swimming, freestyle, then what can you make your freestyle, right? You have your kicking, you have your hand movement. Within your hand movement, what can make your hand movement? How can you make your hand to move more smoothly, move better, right? Then I figure out like how can you pull the water, hold the water better, how can you push better. So these are the individual stroke that can potentially help you to swim better, right? So you pure different thing like how many stroke that I pull when I pull to the end, right? How can I raise my arm? How can I return back to to reach out, right? How can I skip this step to make it a little bit quicker, a little bit smoother, right? How can I move my arm? How can I my kicking be more effective, right? So I try to improve this little thing, and that got me to be, swimming in the top 5 in my team, in my school team. At least my school team has about like 20 something people. So the top 5 in my school team, I'm not going to be able to be the best, but with that, I mean, I can like get myself to be in a better position. And same as teaching swimming as well. Like after I finished high school, I started teaching swimming, right? How can I help the kid to understand better? How do I teach, right? If I just tell them to, hey, swim like that, they're definitely not going to be able to understand. So I break the whole thing into steps, right? So step 1 is pull the water, step 2 is push, and then step 3 is like return. You return your arm back to the same position, though. So that's the whole cycle, right? You help them do it again and again and again and again, and then eventually they understand, oh, say, so I need to move my arm like that. Is that kind of like muscle memory? You train them, and then when you tell them like, hey, so now when you practice your breathing, then you turn in your second step, so they know like 1 2 3, right? Then 1, and then you turn your head, and then you breathe and things, right? So you muscle memory, keep training them, you figure a system to help them understand better instead of just telling them what to do, right? Then with that, right, then I have kids that can complete 25-meter in the first section, which is an hour section, right? So if they're like older than 7, then I'm pretty sure that they can know how to swim 25 meters in 1 or 2 sections. So that was how good I am in teaching swimming, right? So with that, I was like fully booked Monday to Sunday. So I had a bunch of like students, about like 50, I think, in the summer. So I could pay off like 4 years of my school loan in like 1 or 2 summers. So that was like, like peeling the onion, right? Figure out the matters and how to focus on the little thing and can get you better, no matter what you do. So that is swimming, right? So the second thing that I would like to share with you guys is learning English. So if you don't know, like if you hear me speak right now, I speak like kind of okay, but in high school my English was literally like zero. I don't know any English at all. Like my English was even worse than the kindergarten students, right? So when I was in the examination, I keep failing. I just like know nothing about English. And then when I graduated high school, kind of like I just kind of want to improve my English because I want to talk to people internationally, and I know that like especially I want to kind of like do my working holiday, which is getting out of Hong Kong, right? So I want to improve my English, and there's one thing that I really want to focus on, right, which is my speaking. I want to speak better English. I want to speak like a native person, right? I know that it's going to be very hard, but that was my goal. So what I did is, speaking is a huge thing, right? How can you speak better? So you can listen to people, you can try to copy them, you can like do whatever a lot of people ask you, tell you on YouTube, trying to imitate, which is very going to be very helpful, right? But if you peel and onion again, what makes your speaking better, right, is your pronunciation. So a deeper layer is pronunciation, right? And then you peel pronunciation. What makes pronunciation better? It's a syllable, right? Like A, B, C, D, E, right? How can you pronounce A, B, C, D, E correctly? How can you pronounce the R? How can you pronounce the L, right? How can you like pronounce every single syllable correctly? How can you pronounce the TH? And that is what makes your pronunciation become better, right? So if you keep peeling in it, if you keep improving the matter, the core part of the matters, which is speaking like English pronunciation, if you keep improving that, then you'll get better. So was like what I focused really hard on, right? Improving the little thing from the core level, and that is how get you farther ahead. I wouldn't say my English is very good right now, but at least I can communicate with people effectively. So that is what I want to say about English, like again, peeling an onion layer by layer to understand, figure out the core matter, the core issue. And the third thing I want to talk about is design. So if you look at my design right now, my design look alright. I wouldn't say that I'm the best in the world, but I guess like at least I'm maybe like better than 70% of the people out there. like for I don't want to call myself like better than 70%, but I can get by. I mean, I can get client effectively. I can do okay. I can do all right. So like exactly like I said earlier, right? How can I appeal the design matter? Oh, by the way, like my design, I have no talents in design. I wouldn't say I don't know if I should call myself no talent, but if I tell you that like in my design, I went to design school for 3 years, but before you get the admission from design school, you need to go through a test, right? They're gonna test if the candidate is good enough for the program, right? So they will ask you to submit your artwork. But I wasn't an artsy person, right? I don't know like what art is. I don't know how to draw. Like my drawing sucked so bad, right? So I didn't have any kind of portfolio before I applied for the school. So what I did is I came up with an artwork that I think was like a piece of things that I just submitted it, right? So they have a score for the candidates 1 to 5, and after the interview with my artwork explaining what I did, it turned out to be I got 1 out of 5. So I'm like the worst in the whole program, right? So I don't know why eventually I would got in, but apparently they let me in even I got 1, because I guess like they just don't have enough people for the program. But then I got in there, and then eventually that got me into like we're designing right now, right? But again, I don't think I learned anything in the school anyways. So right now, like what I did is I just tell you how I peel the onion, how I peel to the layer, to the little thing, right? The pixel, little pixel, like how many pixels between the button, and all that kind of little detail thing, right? So when I master that skill, master the grid system, master the pixel art, then I can improve my design greatly because of that, right? So it's all about the little thing. So it got me to the last point that I want to talk to you guys about is every single chapter in my life, every single kind of like phases, I would like to learn something else. So right now, what I'm learning, what I'm focused on learning is I would like to understand the financial market better. I would like to manage my kind of my finances better. So I want to understand how the stock market works. So I've been studying the stock market for like years and years. Back in I don't know, like 20 years ago, right? I want to understand like how things work, what makes money, what lose money, how people make money, how people lose money. So I know that like there's a trend in the market, like there's uptrend, there's downtrend. When uptrend everybody make money, when downtrend everybody loses money. But what makes a trend, right? So that's like the stock market is a big onion, and then you have the trend is a little deeper layer, and then trend, the trend, what makes a trend, right? There's moving averages that are making the trend. So moving averages is another layer, right? How moving averages works. There's 20 days moving average, 50 days moving average, 150 days moving average. That's another level. We peel down what is the relationship between the moving averages. So one go up, one go down. That's a changing trend. That's another one. You peel another layer. What makes money, right? So you have to test like your strategy. 20 days moving average, 50 days moving average versus 150 days, another layer, right? So I figure a system that can help me to make money, that can help me to be beneficial in the stock market, which then I apply the same strategy into the crypto market. So I build an algorithm, build a trading robot to help me to back test the market and test my strategy, right? So the end result is right now that I can get the market to work for me. So my robot, my strategy that can get the market, that can beat the market 4 times. So if you look at the screenshot right now, the market went up by 400%, but versus my robot, we went up by 2,400% with my strategy, right? So this is the thing that I kind of like want to figure out, like how everything works and how can potentially build something that can help you to make money. So this is the thing that I've been kind of like focusing on this year especially, and just trying to understand how things work in the very core part level. So this is the whole kind of idea concept about this video. It doesn't matter if you're not talented in doing something, as long as you can understand how things works, then you can be very good at that thing as well. If you're not very talented in design, can you still be a very successful designer? Absolutely, right? If you're not very good at like doing something, as long as you peel the onion, understand the core part of the matter, then you can get yourself to be very good as well. So this is what the message I want to talk about in this video. If you like the content, definitely subscribe to my channel and give this video a big thumbs up as well. That's going to help the algorithm to rank this video higher. So I really appreciate that you guys do that, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Cheers.